And welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. Game week 6 or 7 I want to say now. Game week 7. And coming off the back of last week, as I remember saying, me and Harry had a lot of different predictions in our games, and it turned out it was still very close, because a few games that Harry got, I didn't get. But then there was the odd game that Harry got, but I got the correct result, so I got an extra few points. So it ended out that I scored 18 points and he scored 14. So it's dragging out a bit more now. The score is now 97 to me and 90 to Harry. So going into game week 7, the first game, which is tonight, so hopefully this will be out before it starts, but never know. Everton, Crystal Palace, I am saying 1-1. Swansea, Liverpool. Liverpool in good form, I'm going to say 3-0 Liverpool. Hull, Chelsea. Again, Chelsea's still not getting the wins in the Premier League, which is really annoying. But against a newly promoted side, against Hull, I think they will win 2-1. Chelsea, that is. Sunderland, West Brom. I think West Brom will win 2-1. Watford, Bournemouth, I think will be a good game and it will be 2-2. West Ham versus Middlesbrough, I'm going to say West Ham. They've been in such bad form recently. I think this will be the game that will pick them back up. And I'm going to say it's going to be West Ham 2, Middlesbrough 1. Manchester United, Stoke. Manchester United haven't been very good recently. They only won 1-0 last night. So playing tomorrow against Stoke, I think they'll win 2-0. Leicester versus Southampton. Leicester had a really bad game against Manchester United. Was that last week? Yeah, it was. They lost 4-0. Was it 4-0? 4-1? I can't remember the exact score, but they had a really bad week last week. But then they've gone against a big side in Porto midweek and beat them 1-0 at home. So I think that momentum from the 1-0 win against Porto will give them the boost to beat Southampton. I think it's going to be 2-1 Leicester. Spurs, Tottenham versus Manchester City. Again, both had an interesting week this week in the Champions League. I think Spurs won. I didn't really follow the Spurs game. But Man City versus Celtic, what a game that was. I think it finished 3-3. A very, very good game. But I think Man City will have the dominance in the game, and I think they'll win 2-1 away at Tottenham. And finally, Burnley versus Arsenal. Again, I think Arsenal, they're just dominant at the moment. They beat Chelsea for the first time in, God knows how long. It's been quite a few years since Arsenal beat Chelsea. And I think they'll be very happy with that result. Arsene Wenger, 20 years at Arsenal, 2 decades at a football club. And he's only just said he might be happy to take on the England role after the allegations of Sam Allardyce. But I think Burnley, newly promoted, come back to the Premier League. I think Arsenal will romp them 3-0. So, Harry, off you go.
Okay, so my predictions for this Premier League week are Everton 1, Palace 0, Swansea 1, Liverpool 2, Hull 0, Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1, West Brom 1, West Ham 1, Middlesbrough 1, Watford 1, Bournemouth 0, Man United 2, Stoke 0, Tottenham 1, Man City 1, Leicester 1, Southampton 1, Burnley 0, Arsenal 2. We'll go Arsenal 2, yeah. So, yeah, that's my predictions. I think I predicted 1-1 a lot of times. Oh, well.
So those were mine and Harry's predictions. Again, hopefully, I will bring my lead out by more than 7 by the end of next week. By the end of this week's games. But again, it's still very close and all to play for. So mine and Harry's predictions, anything can happen. So until next Friday, see you later.